This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons.
Where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. So I saw some news in the Percy Jackson world.
Mm-hmm.
It says that Percy Jackson and Echo, which is a movie, a TV show, I don't know, and X-Men 97 are the top 3 most viewed Disney Plus original series in 2024 so far.
Wow.
And that Percy Jackson took 23.3% of total viewership. That's a lot. That is almost a quarter of total viewership.
Yeah.
Where Echo took 11.8%, X-Men 97 took 6.8%, but those are the top 3. That's a big difference from Percy Jackson took 23%, where Echo took 11. That's a double their second place.
Yeah. That's insane.
That is really cool.
Well, that is good news for the future of the series, for sure.
Absolutely.
I wasn't sure. I don't know, because I heard from some, dedicated book fans that they didn't watch it, or they didn't want to watch it because they were worried, again, that it would be, not what they wanted.
Ruining things or something.
Yeah. And I don't know if those fans even knew how involved Rick were, or they just kind of saw the, commercials and that's all they knew about it. But, so I wasn't, sure, honestly, what kind of audience it would pull, if you know what I mean. If it would be all Percy Jackson fans already, or if it just looked good enough that new people would come in.
It'd be cool to find out if they have, I don't know if they have
There's
any
way
way
of... to track if someone's already a fan of Percy Jackson.
No, good
when
point.
They started watching.
No, you're right.
They'd have to, you'd have to poll the people, okay... If you watch this show, tell us if you were already a fan. You'd have to do a poll, and then you hope that everyone actually answers.
Well, I just feel like if they had demographics and they're these are all in their 30s, they're probably all Percy Jackson fans because it's a kid's show.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so they might be these guys, I don't know, they'd get some idea.
Although,
but yeah.
There's also all those Disney adults, and they're pretty kind of like Marvel people who are really into Marvel. Even when Marvel starts putting out low-key trash, not low-key trash. Low-key stuff is good.
Low-key's good. Low-key.
Yeah.
For those people who are not millennials or below. No, never mind.
Exactly. Anyways, even when they start putting out stuff that wasn't that good, the true Marvel fans will always kind of back it up, So there might be, my point is there might be Disney fans who, even if the newer stuff Disney's putting out, not everyone is super into, might still watch every new show they put out.
That's true.
To support Disney in general. So anyways, but yeah, definitely, hopefully the older crowd would all be fans who read the books as when they were in middle school and stuff.
Yeah. It's a great statistic, and I think that is going to give Disney the want to put more budget into, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Give it a higher budget, which then we can get more, more to it this season. So
yeah,
maybe we can actually get an eye that stays an eye with the one single Cyclops eye without needing spend most of the budget on. Without needing sunglasses.
Yeah, that was so weird. Or mist spray.
Or mist spray. That was a movie reference.
I mean, it definitely was the right choice because of how terrible the eye looked when it was a single eye. So they made the right choice of doing things to stop having to see that the whole movie. But it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, so hopefully they're going to give more to season 2. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
And hopefully that also means they'll listen to the fans, although, whatever. I know that, producers and stuff, they think that if they always listen to the fans, that the fans will actually ruin it. Just because there's so many opinions, and trying to, quote, listen to the fans can be, your downfall, you know what I mean? Instead of staying true to what already worked.
But what if you... Yeah, it's true. I guess that's true. But what if you were to, literally put... I was thinking about this. put people in the Percy Jackson Facebook pages and just scroll through and get general consensus. Yeah. Or, listen to the Percy Jackson... Well... All the Percy Jackson podcasts are pretty positive. There's no one really just trash talking the whole thing. So, but they could listen to ours and get a few. Exactly. Anyways.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a consensus of it. The episodes should be longer at the very least.
Yeah.
And we already know, like we said already, it's going to only be 8 episodes. So we can hope that they're slightly longer. And that can be a change that they should be able to make safely, because they already know that long form content is popular. Stranger Things, for example. There's lots of very popular shows that have 45-minute episodes each.
Yeah.
And that's something that people are fine with. That's already been, like, established. So please make them longer.
When we get to the end of this, like, doing all of this season, I want to do, like, a breakdown of book 2 and what we think's going to happen in the TV show. Like, do a little prediction, because I have some thoughts. Yeah. Things I don't particularly like that I'm thinking, but I think they're going to have to do. So I want to, like, it'd be fun to do that, and then later see, how we did.
Yeah.
Did we do a good job? Should Disney, hire us maybe? So we'll see.
To do what? To do predictions? Or
no, to like
do rough drafts of
see that we did a pretty good job, and therefore, I don't know. I'm just joking. Here we go.
Okay. Just a reminder that we do spoil this whole season and this whole first book, and then we do light spoilers for the whole 5 books. But if we get into any main plots or main character changes, we give an extra spoiler warning. And I already have a note here to make sure we do a spoiler, because I have a whole discussion I want to make. Okay. That's definitely main plot points that we need to put a spoiler for.
Okay. Cool. So this is the start of episode 6, which is called We Take a Zebra to Vegas, which I believe is the exact title of the chapter.
Which is 17?
16. We take a zebra to Vegas. So we had already gotten into the chapter because the beginning is Aries telling them, here's your ride and stuff. Yeah. So there was definitely a zebra in the book. And we see a zebra walk by in one scene of the movie. So it was an interesting choice of the name of the episode.
Yeah. What is the name of chapter 17?
But it's the chapter 17 is all Lotus Casino.
I know, but so is this episode.
Or maybe this whole chapter is Lotus Casino. Oh no, chapter 17. So this whole chapter 16 is everything including Lotus Casino. Well, then they had to do that title. So they had to do that title because the next one is We Shop for Waterbeds, which I'm sure they didn't title it because there was no waterbed shopping for the next one.
Oh god, that scene in the book is so good. I can't believe they cut it out.
And we will get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have scene 1. Opens up on a dream.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting dream because he's dreaming of his old headmaster from the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
Who's clearly supposed to be embodying, Chiron, not Chiron.
Cronus.
He's clearly supposed to be embodying Cronus. Yes. So, and he's talking to the lightning thief, who they think is Clarice, but is actually Luke. But the interesting thing is, if this is Percy's dream. So in Percy's dream, it makes sense for him to see his headmaster. Mm-hmm. But Luke isn't seeing his headmaster. Like, it's weird that this scene is clearly altered from whatever Luke is seeing in Luke's dream. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because in Luke's dream, Luke can't be seeing Percy's headmaster. We don't know what Luke's
seeing. Exactly.
That can't be what he's seeing. Right. So he's seeing something different. So it's weird to me that they're both in the same dream, in the same situation with the same person, but they're clearly seeing different things. Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like it was a weird choice considering the rest of the time Cronus is just this Grim Reaper guy. And then now he's, I don't know.
Suddenly the principal.
And that can't be what the lightning thief is seeing, whether it's Clarice or Luke. I just felt like it was a weird choice.
Here's why I think they did this. I don't agree with the choice. I think they could have totally skipped this, that way they did that. But in the book, his nightmare starts in the classroom where has a straitjacket on. So he's in a school. And then Talia is there. Talia. She is there. And the teacher's voice in the dream changes until it becomes cold and evil and becomes Cronus. So they're... And then it's almost like they're putting that, and then he falls through the floor, and then he is then in the scene where he is in a dark cavern, and he hears like the exchange went well, and it was all set up, so he gets the idea like, whatever. We get the idea as readers like, oh, it was set up, at least later when you've read everything, it was set up that like he got the lightning bolt, the exchange went well, him the lightning so you get the idea that it actually happened. But Kronos is kind of mad. Well, he was kind of like, you did mess up to the person he's talking to. But he still says, like, he said the exchange went well. Mm-hmm. And the person he's talking to says something like, I could have done it. And he's like, yeah, no, you messed up. So, no, I decided to do it a different way. It's a little bit different, the theme, because in the TV show, the principal is scolding the titular lightning thief. Right. And he's saying, like, I have someone who could take your place. And, like, because he's, like, really being mean to this person. That's not quite how they're doing it in the book. But then he, like, looks at Percy and he's like, I have someone to take your place. Like, Percy could maybe, he's like, just not right now, you know? And that's not, so they're changing the whole.
Well, in the book, I mean, you're right.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't look at Percy and go like, oh, yay, Percy's here. He's more like, what? How did this guy get in our dream? He's, like, more upset about it, not like.
Yes. No, I totally agree. He's like, oh, no, like, we're being listened to. And then he, like, doesn't he change it to a different dream? He's like, let me show you something else. Or does that happen in a different book?
Oh, that happens somewhere, but it is in this one. So, like, they're saying he suspects nothing. And then the lightning thief says, nothing, my lord. He's as ignorant as the rest. And then at some point, Cronus is like, he's here. He's blast his father's blood. He is too changeable, too unpredictable. The boy brought himself, right? So he's like,
oh, interesting.
It's a different kind of like idea from the show. And then he does say, so you wish to dream of your quest, young half-blood, then I will oblige. And then it changes. Okay, and then he's suddenly in that throne room. And it is Hades' throne room. Because his mother's frozen in shimmering golden light. And he tries to go to her. But then suddenly he's like turning into bones. And all these skeletons around him. And it's just weird. Like it's like a dream.
Yeah.
You know, a scary dream. But first he senses this whole exchange. He somehow brought himself to.
Yeah, so at first he's having a nightmare about school, but also Thalia's there, which is very interesting that he's dreaming about her. Very interesting.
But they had talked about it just right before he fell asleep.
Right, but he dreams about her. Like, he sees her face, her clothes, and this is actually what she looks like, but he's never seen her before.
I know. Do you think she was in the tree dreaming about him at the same time? Like, do you think they entered each other's dreams?
Maybe. No, like, seriously, that's, like, very possibly. So it's already, like, weird that he can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that demigods can have these dreams, but he's already having, like, a very demigod dream, you know? He's already having, like, a powerful dream, even though they're just sitting in class together.
Yeah, and she says something to him like, what do you look... Oh, no, see, it's her dream. It's his dream. Oh, no, maybe not. She says, well, seaweed brain, one of us has to get out of here. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go back to that cavern. That's what he says. And so he wills himself to the cavern.
Interesting. The cavern where he knows Cronus is.
Where he thinks that Hades is.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, but he knows that that's where they've been talking about. You know, he thinks he's going to Hades. So he actually wills himself in the dream, like, out of the straitjacket into the cavern. So it's really fascinating. So cool. I thought it was very fascinating in the book. This scene in the TV show doesn't show that kind of fascination.
Also doesn't make sense.
Although I do like the principal's voice for Kronos better than the
Me too.
Kronos voice. So if they would like to continue having him be Kronos, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I know. That was better.
Do you notice it starts though, like when the scene, like right when it starts up, there's like thunder?
No.
Oh yeah, like right when the title comes on, there's like thunder, and then it has his dream, and I just thought that was interesting. Cool. There's a lot of like thunder and lightning and storm. I mean, it is the lightning thief.
And there's also literally Zeus and Poseidon are fighting throughout this whole this whole time.
It's just kind of like in the background. You don't always.
What TV show? The fact that they're like actively fighting.
Yeah, because like in the book, throughout the book, I think there's like mention of like the weather and things are happening because they're fighting. Yeah. We don't really get that. Yeah. Until the very end of the TV show when the radio station's talking about it in that cabin.
Right, but at that point it's because the war should have started because they missed their deadline. Yeah. We're here, even though, like, war hasn't been declared yet, they're already fighting. Like, they're already, whatever. They're already fighting. It's just going to get worse
just, like,
when the
yelling at each other, and as, like, Poseidon yells, then the hurricane flies by, and then Zeus yells, and...
it's not it's not a full-blown war. It's just, like, casual brother fighting, except for the brothers are gods.
Like, little tantrums, taking down whole cities. Anyways. Okay, yeah, so that's how it starts, with the dream.
Yeah. So that dream is really important because he gets to see that this person is working. Whatever he almost gets to see the lightning thief basically.
Yeah, and he thinks like I don't know. There's something weird here. It's getting more and more suspicious.
It's weird that it seems like just getting the bolt isn't the end of their plan.
Yeah,
like there seems to be more to their plan, and that's what's concerning him.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wakes up from his dream, and they're still on this, whatever. It's not a bus. It's like a...
No, it's a big truck.
There you go.
Lost the word
there. They're on this truck, and it's clearly been it's not just all night. I mean, it's like well into the day at this point because Grover like pops his head out.
Did they leave at nighttime? Was it dark when they got in the truck?
Yeah, it was like evening.
Okay.
It was like evening, so it's been all night and well into the next day.
And it looks like Percy just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm sure that they took shifts
in the middle. Yeah.
And stuff, and like usually that's how they sleep. Like they're pretty suspicious people, or he had trouble sleeping earlier. They don't explain it, but it is.
He wakes up and it's midday.
Maybe just took a nap. There's nothing much to do on this truck. But Grover and Annabeth are trying to get a signal through their little prism to talk to Camp, which is so smart. And the fact that demigods don't just carry around prisms in
like
the
cell
book,
phones,
right? Yeah. In the book is like insane. That's so obviously the right choice as a demigod to just have one of these at all time.
Yeah, so you don't have to go around and find how do we make a rainbow.
They had to go to a car wash and pay money to turn on the water to get a rainbow. And it was, like, not a very good connection because it's a car wash and there's, like, cars and stuff making noises.
It wasn't a very good rainbow connection.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact, like, I was just like, this is so smart. All day. You should come in, like, your demigod to-go kit. You know, like, you got your drachmas, you got your ambrosia nectar or lack of.
Yeah.
And a prism. Like, come on.
So they came equipped with a prism, but they don't have ambrosia and nectar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes perfect
sense.
This
is going to be like our theme is going to be our complaint about the lack of ambrosia and nectar. Yeah, no, and I guess by opening that thing, he's got some sort of sunlight coming in where she can, I mean, to me, I don't think you could get much of a rainbow that way, but they figure it out.
Really? I think it's like in
There's
a
no
dark
water.
area.
Oh, that's what the prison's for. Sorry, you just.
Do you know how those work?
Nope, don't know. I slept through that part of science class.
Well, especially in a darker area, if the light hits it should create a good rainbow on the wall.
Yeah, I was slow. I now I'm really getting it.
Yeah, that's why they all need to
that's
carry
why
one
they don't
around.
need water. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, one time they also had like a spray bottle in one book somewhere in the series.
And so you just had to keep
spraying.
They had to keep
spraying it. And literally they were like, oh, my finger is like hurting. And I'm like...
I almost wonder if that's Trials of Apollo. I'm not sure. I don't think it was in the Heroes of Olympus. I don't know.
I feel like it might be in
I've
the
read
main
these books so many
series.
times. This main...
Oh, really?
The main 5 books? Oh, gosh. I don't remember that at all. Someone having to spray.
Huh. Interesting.
That sounds like either something that
second series
Lester would do in the but we haven't read that series or the whole thing.
No, but I've read like 3 whole books of it.
Yeah, or it sounds like something Frank and Hazel would be doing.
I don't think it was them.
Okay.
See, I just feel like it was Percy. So it was either Percy or someone with enough of Percy's personality. I don't consider either Frank or Hazel to have any bits of Percy's personality in them.
Jason has a little bit, but
yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
But Leo has more.
No, Leo has like his... We're totally off subject here, but Leo has his like sassiness times 500.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying I feel like whoever was holding the spray bottle was quite sassy about it.
That sounds like Leo then.
So it could have been him.
So
anyways.
We see them doing that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
They make a rainbow and then they flip the drachma and pray to the goddess.
Yeah, they do. And I just wanted to say before we got into that too much is that we skip from the book. We skip the whole talking, like, so they see a lion in there, they see a zebra in there, they see an antelope in there, and they do a whole exchange of food because, of course, the people in the Kindness International truck, gave the meat to the antelope and the turnips to the lion. So the animals are hungry. Yeah. Would love to eat the demigods. Yeah. But instead they swap the food and feed them all.
And Grover's trying to, like, befriend them at the same time.
But they were too hungry, I think, in the beginning to be befriended until they handled the food. So we get like an idea
of string because didn't one of them have a balloon?
Yeah, one of them had like an I'm over the hill kind of balloon string on him, and I think even like maybe gum in his mane or something.
Yeah,
a zebra.
The zebra had gum in his mane.
So you get like really riled up, like, oh my god, these guys are so these are horrible people. You just hear Grover say in the thing like, oh, hey, these guys are not good people. You don't really get that same thing. And you get Grover talking to him, which is good. But we still don't have the fact that Percy can hear horses in his mind. So are we going to get introduced to that when, what's his name comes?
When Blackjack comes, which is the third book.
Third book. Maybe.
I mean, I feel like at that point you definitely have to. It's just crazy that they didn't do it when Grover was scooping the poop. That would have been a golden opportunity.
For him
to come up, because you hear Grover talking to his animals, and then, like that scene starts with just Grover and some horses, and then Percy walks up to them. So
and he could have said like, "Oh wow, your horse swears a lot," or something like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. They didn't even have to like do like a voiceover or anything. They could have just had one comment from Percy.
Yeah.
And then Grover could say like, "Oh yeah, I forgot, like because your dad's a god of horses, that you would be able to understand horses." And then Percy's like, "Weird. Anyways, you want to come on the quest with me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they could have done that. You're right. And if it wasn't for the fact that he had obviously can talk to Blackjack, are they maybe just not going to have Blackjack talking? And if that's the case,
oh come on, no.
Sad, because I don't know if they realize if these people need to understand that Blackjack is a beloved character.
Yes. No, they have to.
I'm a little worried about that. I'm just saying I'm a little worried, but maybe we're like jumping too far ahead because we have to get through season 2 first.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, we skip all that. I just wanted to say that. So go ahead. Back to the phone call.
Okay. So they kind of explain to Percy how the thing works. You get like a really brief explanation of kind of what's happening from Annabeth, just being like, "Oh, obviously this is how this works."
On the rainbow.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you have to pay them and stuff, and then whatever. And then she's like, Chiron's office, like Camp Half-Blood. And then you see Luke instead of Chiron in the office, which is, like, so suspicious. Like, I get he explains why Chiron's not in there, but why are you in there?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing for Chiron not to be there. It's a whole other thing for you to be in there. In Chiron's office?
Yeah, for sure.
While the camp's falling apart, aren't you, like, one of the leaders? What are you doing in his office? Whatever.
It's interesting, because in the book, they just say Camp Half-Blood, and then you see Luke. In both cases, you see Luke's back, and they're like, Luke, right?
Yeah.
But they just say in the book Camp Half-Blood. Half-Blood Hill, specifically.
Yeah.
So that's okay that they saw it. It wasn't so suspicious. This one was a little suspicious. This made it more suspicious because they asked for Chiron's office. So we talk...
I just want to say really fast, though, that I thought you could just say a person. Like, couldn't you just say Camp Half-Blood Chiron? It would just take you to wherever he is.
Yeah.
I thought
what if you did Chiron's office and is out, like, teaching archery? It was a dumb thing to ask for.
Probably a whole new drachma to get a new place.
But see, just asking for Half-Blood Hill was dumb in the book, too. So either way, they're being dumb.
Yeah.
They're not thinking it through.
Yeah, well, I guess none of them are really
I think
used
you can
to
say,
this,
show me Chiron.
Because I don't know what Grover does to communicate to Half-Blood Hill when he's out doing his quest, but Percy's never done this before. And I don't think Annabeth knew. I mean, they didn't have drachmas when they were, like, on the run. Like, when's the last time she's used iris messaging?
Yeah,
She just knows about it.
Which is funny because they call IMing here.
I
and
know.
He's like, IMing? And they're like, iris messaging.
Instead of instant messaging.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because now no one uses the term IMing, but, like, back when this book was written, that's what
it was what it was called, yeah.
That's funny.
So I have to mention this cute little, kind of cute exchange, but also what it signifies right before. So he's holding, Percy in the TV show is holding the drachma. Mm-hmm. And she says, toss it, seaweed brain. Right? Yeah. Which is, always cute. And then he says, this will never stop being weird. And then she says, if you want the god's attention, you have to pay for it. Right. And I was like, whoa, that's a line.
Yeah.
Going along with her whole thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought we got over on the last episode.
Well, it doesn't make it not true.
Yeah.
Like, she's just stating a truth. It doesn't mean she's happy with it or okay with it or whatever. Yeah. It's just that is the truth. Although, I honestly didn't like the implication of that. I think in the book, they make it seem like it's fair. Like, you pay for a phone, like, service, right? Like...
Yeah, it seems weird that they're saying it's because you have to pay for their
attention.
The god's attention. Well, but no, it's a service.
It's a service, yeah. And a lot of the gods, even if you throw drachmas at them, are not going to do things for you. Like, Iris is a good goddess who is nice and is very, like, helpful.
Yeah, and we learned that she also, like, has some enterprising mindset in later books.
Yeah.
But she's so funny.
Still.
But no, Hermes, when you send a package, you pay for a drachma.
It's a service.
It's a service.
You can't expect it to be free.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I get what they're doing here. Like, I get what she's trying to communicate by saying that, and so it's fine. But I was like, I mean... you are getting to, like, video call someone.
Yeah.
So.
It's a pretty good thing. And in both cases, they say, oh, goddess, accept our offering type of thing. So it's the same kind of thing. So I'm glad they did that same. But yeah, we get Luke's back, and he turns around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job making, like, how they made it look with him, like, looking kind of shimmery and rainbowy. Mm-hmm. Instead of it... I didn't know how they were going to do that and how, like, if it would look... super cheesy or, like, weird. But I think they did a really good job making it look, like, not too clear and, like, clearly I don't know. Like, they did, I just thought it was well done, how they made him look and how the call went.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it was interesting. So in both the book and in the TV show, we find out that the campers are fighting a little bit. Like, they're taking sides, right?
Yeah.
Because they heard that Poseidon and Zeus might be going to war. Like, it says in the book here, it says, things are pretty tense here, Percy. Oh, the other thing too, sorry, is in the book, Annabeth is totally blushing and flustered because all of a sudden Luke's there. And so then she talks Grover into going over and handling the car that pulls up next door with loud music and leaves Percy alone.
Yeah.
So that's a difference here. But he says, like, word leaked out about the Zeus-Poseidon standoff. We're still not sure how. Probably the same scumbag who summoned the Hellhound.
So he is clearly out here trying to cause trouble.
Yeah. Now the campers are trying to take sides. It's shaping up like the Trojan War all over again. Aphrodite, Ares, and Apollo are backing Poseidon, more or less. Athena is backing Zeus. And then Percy's inner voice says, I shuddered to think that Clarice's cabin would ever be on my dad's side for anything. Oh, Percy. She's better than you think she is. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, when he said they're mostly backing up, I wonder if
Clarice is like the one person.
Clarice is like too mad.
I'm going to back up Annabeth. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. It says mostly. But maybe then Athena's backing Zeus because we know that generally Athena's cabin is not a Poseidon fan. Although.
Yeah, not just generally. Like all of the time.
Like all the time. So, in the TV show, I think they just say kind of the same thing, right? Like they
don't say who's on which side.
Sides,
they just say that like he's holding the camp together. Like people are trying to take sides.
Yeah, right.
And there's a lot of fighting happening, basically.
And that's when they bring up the whole, we know who the lightning thief is, and he's like, how did you find out?
Yeah. And then they explain that Grover talked to Ares and tricked him into saying something, but then he wouldn't say who, and who would he protect?
And then he's like, Clarice. Yeah. It was interesting though. When he goes, how did you find out? What would be the first question you had? Who? Why does he not ask who?
Yeah, right.
It was weird. It was almost weird. Like he wanted, just in case it was him, which, why would they tell him? Right?
Yeah.
He wanted to hear their thought process? I don't know. It was weird. Like, that to me would have triggered my, like, suspicious, like, don't you want to know? Yeah.
It should be who first, and then how did you find out?
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was, they were trying to show his little, like, how it, like, startled him and he was worried, maybe, with that question.
Yeah, but he did definitely play it very cool.
He did play it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the conversation, and then I think Percy was about to say something about Hermes, and she like cuts the connection. She's like, "You can't talk to him about his dad."
Yeah, but first they have that moment where they're like,
"Oh yeah,"
he was like, "Oh, how'd it go talking with Ares?" And then Percy's like, "Well, better than Medusa on Saturday and the Chimera on Sunday or whatever, like something like that." And then it was like, "No, Medusa was on Sunday. Medusa was on Saturday. There was no monsters on Sunday." And he goes, "Oh, okay, so Medusa on Saturday." And then Luke's like, "When did this happen?" Right? And he calls them like an old married couple.
Yeah. And
it's so funny. It was like kind of cheesy the way that he interrupted them was.
Yeah.
However, it is like pretty accurate. There's nothing like arguing about what day something happened. Like that's
such a married couple thing.
There's like not much else to argue about. So you just argue about like what day something happened. It is such a married thing to do, I think.
That is funny.
So it's pretty funny.
So it was like a little Percy Beth moment for us.
Yeah.
We did get a Percy Beth moment in the book, because in the book, before he fell asleep and had the nightmare, they're just sitting and talking, right? They're all like kind of laying down, getting settled down for the night, and they're sitting and talking, and they talk about different things like, she talks about like, she's like sorry about freaking out about the spiders, which of course, doesn't happen in the TV show. Right. And she tells a little bit about the Arachne. The
oh yeah,
the one who gets turned into spider, and Athena, that story, and then how ever since then Arachne's, I might be saying that wrong, ever since then her spiders, her children have been like basically stalking the Athena children, right?
Yeah.
And then they also talk about, this is when he first finds out that Grover is the satyr that brought Annabeth, Luke, and Thalia. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. This is the first time in the book. So we already know this in the TV series, so we have this whole nice conversation. And then, he says, so if the gods fight, will things line up the way they did with the Trojan War? Will it be Athena versus Poseidon? And then, Annabeth says, I don't know what my mom would do. I just know I'll fight next to you.
Yeah.
And he says, why? And she says, because you're my friend, seaweed brain. Any more stupid questions?
So cute. That is always my favorite moment from this book. Like, my favorite Percy and Annabeth moment from this book is that, because it's just so cute.
It is really cute. And it shows Annabeth in her true form. Like, she's like giving him affection and telling him basically to shut up at the same time. And if that is Annabeth all the way. Be calling him an idiot, calling him stupid questions. Which is funny. This is, I think, the first time she talks about him having stupid questions, where in the TV show they have that a couple times. Like, oh my gosh, are you going to ask me another stupid question? Like, anyway. So I thought that was cute and I just wanted to read that.
I like in the TV show when she calls him dude. It always makes me laugh.
Dude.
It's so funny. It's so great. Like this time period, you know? It'd be weird in the books if she called him dude, but it's very like now, and I think it's really funny.
Right. So then Grover comes over and he's talked to the animals, right?
Yes, and he's like, oh hey, I learned new things. Apparently these guys are traffickers. They're not good people at all, but don't worry, we have a plan. We have the animals had an amazing plan. It's such a good plan. They were missing one thing. Opposable thumbs.
He doesn't say opposable, he just says thumbs. They were missing one thing. They're like, what's that? Thumbs. And he just delivers that so perfectly.
It's really good.
So perfectly. I wish I could talk to Arian or whatever his name is and just tell him how much I admire his acting. He was so good. And then he's like still very beaming. Like he's still so proud of these guys. And he's like, great plan. It's really elegant. They're like artists, you know? And then he's like saying all how great and wonderful this is, and then suddenly it switches to outside.
All of the animals just running around Las Vegas.
Yeah, very elegant. Very,
they're not
very
even
beautiful.
Running. They're just wandering.
They're just like there's like an ostrich like poking its head into a car.
If I saw an ostrich, funny. I would roll up my windows so fast.
Those guys are like
they will take out your eyes. I would never roll down my window for an ostrich.
So do you think that they had had these animal handlers that had these animals and they were walking around the street?
No, I think,
you think that was fake? Computer generated?
That's a lot of really expensive animals. As we've learned from The Office,
yes, I was just
getting one trained cat is
thousands
so
and thousands.
Expensive that getting an ostrich and there was a
zebra, there was a
rhino walking around at some point.
There's a tortoise sitting in the street.
There's no way. There's no way they had the budget.
Oh, a rhino. How do you even do that? No. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was just wondering because there was this great, if you looked at the ostrich, there was this kid with this camera out and was taking pictures, and they just did the people did a good job interacting with the animals that weren't there. So
definitely, I'm sure they had props to look at and stuff, but there's no way.
Hi, I'm an ostrich. Stare at me and pretend I'm an ostrich. They just have people with an ostrich face on their. No, I don't know.
I was more thinking like a roughly made statue. But.
They might, yeah. I know they use something so you can look, where to look and stuff. So, anyways, that was a great scene. In fact, even really this, when we get into this outside of Las Vegas moment, this whole scene is great.
Yeah. And even in the book, it is similar. They do just set them free in the streets.
Yes.
Except there's only 3 animals.
There is only 3 animals.
It's the antelope, the zebra, and the lion.
Right. And
he puts the blessing of the wild on them, which here he calls it the satyr's blessing, but whatever.
Oh, true.
I thought that was weird.
Why change that?
I don't know. There's no reason.
Because the whole thing about the wild is Pan's message.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever.
It's fine. But he puts a blessing on them to make sure that they can reach shelter. And specifically in the book so that the animals can reach, it's food, water, and shelter, I think.
Yeah, because they're dropped in the middle of the desert.
I wish you could do that on us.
Yeah.
And then he was it only works on wild animals. And then doesn't Annabeth make some kind of comment?
Yep, so it would only affect Percy. That's what she says, yeah. It's interesting because in the book, he's like, well, the animals be okay. The desert and everything. So he's worried about the animals. In the TV show, I love it. He's like, this seems dangerous. And he's like, it's okay. I got a satyr's blessing or whatever. And Percy's like, I mean for the people. And Grover's face. He goes, oh, them.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't care about them.
He did not give one.
He's like, I don't know, but the animals are all set.
Yeah. And
I just love
Percy's
that.
Great, cool, let's just get to this casino. I can't deal with this.
Oh my gosh, that was
great.
great.
Clearly the people involved were not thoughts in Grover's head.
Yes. It cracked me up again because, again, Grover, or Arian, does a perfect job delivering that in that one look that, I really don't care about the people. Yeah. Should I be thinking about them? Oh, well, whatever. He just delivers the whole thing in one look.
Yeah.
It's great.
Really good. It is interesting. We don't really see any of the animals in the cage with them either. Not the cage, the truck.
Yeah.
They're all just in cages covered.
Yeah.
To make that easier. And, like, once again, I would have really loved to have it just like in the book where they have these 3 animals and they kind of bond with them and they help them and you get to really see how awful, like, their situation is. But you would have had to then show each animal pretty close up.
I was okay with them not doing that. I'm just getting worried about the lack of Percy talking to horses. Because the announcement of Percy, son of Poseidon, whatever, even then they knock out the father of the horses. So I'm just like, I'm concerned about where that's going.
It seems like it's a small detail, kind of like the Nectar Ambrosia, that they could have just offhandedly mentioned, even if they don't want to make it like a running theme in this whole season, because I get it's not really important yet. But they should be setting it up for the future, and maybe
I just don't want to bite them in the butt later.
The future was never going to happen, or might not happen, but screw that.
Dumb.
You should prepare for it anyways.
It could
just be a cute throwaway if this never went anywhere after this one season. It could just be like a cute throwaway that's still Greek and accurate about Poseidon. And it's just ridiculous.
Anyways, kind of sucks. But we do have that cute little interaction with Annabeth and him where he's like, okay, so we have to find the Lotus Casino, right? Where do you think it is? And she's like, well, it might be the one with the big lotus flower. And he turns around and he's like, well, you were just seconds before me or something like that. He's like, that's not fair.
He turned around first, he also would have noticed it. But she's acting like he's like being the dumb one.
Being the dumb one. But he's like facing the opposite direction. But I think, again, in this case, I think we're starting to see that Annabeth is not actually thinking he's stupid anymore. She's teasing him. Like, it's getting into a teasing thing, which is giving us our Percy Beth
right at the beginning
romance.
It wasn't teasing.
She would have really been just irritated with him, but now she's just kind of teasing him. And I love it. I think it's really cute.
And he can tell too, because he's like, you could let some of them go. Like, just one of them.
Just one of them. That's right.
Yeah. But also, when they first step into the casino, and he's like, what now, wise girl, or whatever it was. Is that the first wise girl in this
I don't remember. Because he says wise girl already in the book.
Yeah.
Is that the first in this season?
I don't remember it happening before, but I do remember us talking about it because we talked about the first one in the book and how technically Clarice is the one who came up with it, right?
Yeah, he hears Clarice say it to her, and then he ends up taking it as
I never noticed
me
that
neither
she was the first one to say it, and I was like, that's kind of interesting that that's where he got it from. But I don't remember it happening already, because they haven't been in, like, that kind of a, whatever. They haven't been in that kind of a mood with each other yet.
Well, that's a question that I'd love if anybody who's listening happens to know.
I'm looking back through the notes, and I at least don't notice me saying it. Like, I can't see anywhere where I wrote down, like, oh my god, this is the first time. So I genuinely think that this episode is the first time that we hear Percy call her wise girl. Unless I'm just missing it somewhere. But I was like, yes, because we're getting some good seaweed brain moments and some good wise girl moments now.
Interesting, yeah. Well, maybe that's something I can do a little research on. I feel like there's a Reddit thread for everything. There
definitely is.
There might be one for that. I have to learn Reddit more because I realize there's so much in there that's really cool. So
yeah, subreddits are like insane. You can find just like anything you want to learn about on a subreddit somewhere. So I
gotta learn how to use it. In the book, they are just wandering around. Like, they didn't expect to be stuck in Las Vegas. They were going to go all the way to Los Angeles, but they decided to free the horses right then. The animals, which is actually interesting because if they had stayed in and let them take, I think the zebra was going to be going to Las Vegas, and just let them take the zebra, they could have stayed in the truck and made it all the way to Los Angeles. But because they were too upset about the fact that they were like going to sell them off to something, I think that they said something like, well, they're going to cut you in half. I don't know. They said
they said
magic
we're
show
selling
or something.
You to magician. You know what the first trick is going to be? Cutting you in half.
Or something like that, right? And I think that they were
like, oh my god. He started, he called Percy Lord. And he was like, Lord, please save me from this.
So they kind of like, in the book, they kind of sacrificed their
ride.
Yeah, in order to save these animals.
Which is
so
really
that was interesting. So now they're wandering around Las Vegas and they're thirsty and they're tired and they just walk by this they end up in a dead end and there's a Lotus Casino hotel and casino there, and it's like obviously looks really nice. There's a huge,
There's an AC wafting out of the door.
Yeah, and it smells like flowers, lotus blossoms.
Yeah.
And then the doorman's like, hey, you guys look tired. You want to come in and sit down? And then like, you know, then they come in and then it starts the whole, immediately with them, they start being like, what's it called? Not sweet talked, but like kind of like, what's it called? Lured in. Mm-hmm. Like they show up and they're like, here's your key to your hotel.
And they're like, whoa. Mistaken for someone
and they're like, no. And they're like, whatever. And they go up to the hotel and they're like, okay, fine, we'll take a shower, we'll change. But they start already, like they start watching TV and they start thinking, let's do this. They start forgetting that they're actually in a rush.
Yeah.
From the beginning. Like it starts happening right away. And
Right. And that's because they're not on alert for this.
No. Not at all.
So it's already like that is definitely a different thing.
Yeah, they're instantly affected by it because they don't know better.
Yeah.
And
they just spent the night in this disgusting truck.
They're tired, they're hungry.
They're tired and they're hungry, yeah.
There's like food in the mini fridge and I forget.
Soft bed.
Yeah, and like Annabeth like turns on the National Geographic channel and watches it and something and then there's like, you know, it's like this crazy, the hotel room's crazy. But also I wanted to read you just a little description of the beginning of when they walked into the lobby because it's totally different. Yeah. They walk into the lobby. It says the whole lobby was a giant game room. And I'm not talking about cheesy old Pac-Man games or slot machines. There was an indoor water slide snaking around the glass elevator, which went straight up at least 40 floors. There was a climbing wall on the side of one building and an indoor bungee jumping bridge. There were virtual reality suits. They did have that with working laser guns and hundreds of video games, blah, blah, blah. So obviously this would have been really hard to put together.
Yeah.
And I totally get that.
Casinos already exist.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in this case, I
guess the building wasn't.
The building they used was a mall that had been abandoned. I think it actually had been renovated, and then the renovation that wasn't completely finished, and never it was just not being used. But at least it was renovated enough for them to use. Yeah. And they just turned the whole thing into Lotus Casino. I thought it was a good idea. It would
be impossible to do like a game room, like the slide. Could maybe be in the background and just like, you know how they showed us in the behind the scenes how they do things, right? There's like this much real stuff, right? Like in a circle. Oh yeah,
and everything else is just screens. They could have gone in and had
a area where it's full of games, just like your classic like, you know, box games. Maybe in one area, even if they look a little bit cooler than like the average Chuck E. Cheese games or whatever. And then they could have the screens being the
climbing wall
slide,
or the water.
Yeah, all
now
the
they would have to they would either have to do that computer generated, which costs money, or they'd have to find a place and actually get pictures and put it up there, because a lot of those screens in the background was like actual, you know, not Times Square, but like you know, the Met. They actually had the pictures of it, or you know, they had like real things they could just take pictures of and put in the background, or video footage or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just like a cruise, like it's like the same kind of stuff you find like on a cruise.
I guess, yeah. I guess they could have done that for sure.
Like you can find stock images of like a water slide and a you know, climbing wall. Like it's not crazy.
Yeah, but they made this place really a place that would call in adults. Like it was not.
Yeah, and there was clearly a lot of adults there.
A lot of adults, and this one, I mean, there were adults and kids here, but it was more like the craziest game lobby. Yeah. Fun lobby that you've ever seen. So it's different because in the show they walk in and there's a car.
Yeah.
That's like rotating maybe.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a car called the Lotus, and someone was like, why didn't they just put a Lotus there?
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like a Cadillac or something, right? So almost it looked like, hey, you could win this Cadillac, which of course none of them are going to because they're not going to leave and drive anywhere.
Yeah.
And then there was just tons of casino tables, and then it wasn't until later you get farther, then there was like virtual reality.
Yeah.
Things and
it seems like there is a little bit of something for everyone. Like everyone could find something that they're into there, but it is interesting that it's like mainly casino themed.
Well, I was going to say it's a lot easier just to find a bunch of people and play blackjack, you know, but you have to pay all those people. See, you wouldn't have had to have as many people to pay for.
Wasn't the place not that full?
No, it was not that crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said there wasn't that. There was a few other kids playing, but not that many. No waiting for any of the games. So it wasn't a super crowded place. So you wouldn't have had to pay all those background actors. So
exactly.
Anyways, you know, if anybody from the show's listening to this, talk to us. We have ideas.
Yeah, it just seems like an interesting choice that I can't quite figure out the reason for. But it makes it harder to find Hermes, because it's crowded. So fine.
That's that. I mean, they could have had Hermes, playing a game, but I guess he's not.
He could be playing like a, get the mail somewhere fast.
Get the mail somewhere fast. Anyways, so they walk in the TV show, they walk in and they see this thing. And then, who is it? Someone says something about it being, was it Grover who says, wait a second, there was a story in the...
I don't know. I think that Annabeth says, Percy, didn't you say your mom told you, the stories, a bunch of Greek stories? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, did she ever read you the Odyssey?
No, I just saw my notes. It was Grover.
Who asked
yeah.
And then he was like, the graphic novel.
The graphic novel. But she makes a face at him like, what? And he's like, hey, it counts.
Oh, okay.
And then Grover's like, okay, well, remember they did this and then they ate the lotus seeds and then they forgot, whatever, so we shouldn't go in. Yeah, see, they walk in and Dua Lipa's playing Levitating, by the way. And Percy's already like, oh, man, can we just hang out here? It's like he's almost already instantly affected. Yeah. And Annabeth's like, wait. But then Grover starts saying this. So I think Annabeth was like, wait, there's something wrong. And then Grover starts talking about it. And it kind of goes back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, that seems about right for the show. That's kind of how they do it.
But Grover's like, we shouldn't come in here. We're going to forget everything. But they know they have to find Hermes there. So they have to go.
So they're just like, well, just don't eat anything.
Yeah.
Which is, anyways, they say don't eat anything.
Because they don't know where the lotus seeds are put.
Flowers.
Where the flower. Oh, lotus flowers.
Yeah.
It's not lotus seeds? What if it's the seeds?
Well, I don't know. That's what they said. They say don't eat anything, but then when he finds out that the goat guy's eating chips...
Then he thinks it's not
he's
that.
Like, oh, it can't be that. Which it isn't that. So
but what if it is?
Figure that out.
What if it is also? What if it's food and the air? It's everything is just constantly...
It definitely can be... But he's like, so it can definitely come in the air, but it can't come in a bag of chips. I didn't understand
why didn't
that thought
They could have
process.
made nacho cheese with lotus flower, extract.
Yeah, very easily.
I know. I didn't understand that thought process.
Instead of corn chips, it could be chips made of the seeds, like you said.
You know what I think happened in that scene? He's already forgetting a lot.
I know.
And I think all he knew was one thing, like, don't eat the lotus flowers. Like, he stuck that in his head. And so then...
When they weren't flowers,
it just, he literally, forgot everything at that point.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what it is. I just remember thinking it was weird.
It was a little weird. Yeah, I did think that too, and I didn't even actually notice it until this third time watching it. But yeah, but there's don't eat anything, and I love it when Percy looks at Grover, and Grover says, "Wait, why were you looking at me when you said that?"
Yeah,
it's like because you're obviously the one that likes food, which I love that they keep. That is a book, canon thing. So. Yeah,
it is pretty funny. I like that too.
Yeah, they don't get to go up to a hotel room and take a shower and eat. I felt kind of bad for them.
Yeah.
They got a little refreshing. They got new clothes. He throws away his backpack, which is the backpack that Ares gives him, which, as we know, has the lightning bolt.
He's like, I'll just get a new backpack at the free store and fill it full of clothes and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever his reasons was, he threw it away. But as we know, it shows it back up again, which I just want to say...
Super suspicious.
And he's just like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, that is dumb.
To be fair,
Percy,
he does know what's in the backpack. He has opened the backpack and looked inside the backpack. It's not like he forgot to look in it and doesn't realize that there's, a bolt just, sitting right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has looked in it and there was no bolt in it yet, because the spell or whatever's on it, it doesn't the bolt doesn't show up until they're in the underworld, and then his backpack starts getting heavier and heavier and heavier as it materializes, I guess. So
as he's walking through the underworld, I believe it starts getting heavier and heavier until it gets close to the pit, and then
he puts it down. Then after the pit thing happens, he puts it back down and it kind of clunks, and they're like, "There's nothing in there that should make that noise." And then they unzip it, and then you finally see the lightning bolt. So yeah, it is suspicious that the backpack returned to him, but still, it's not like
he would just look in it and he'd be like, well, I don't know. Okay, fine. Maybe, I think he even thinks maybe Ares spelled it to do that so I wouldn't lose it. Anyway.
Yeah, he was maybe it was supposed to be a nice thing.
Yeah.
And that's fair when you don't have a lightning bolt in it to think of anything else that could be happening,
Exactly. So at this point we end kind of that scene, the song ends. It's sort of, they start walking together through the casino. And you notice that, like, there's all different styles being worn. Mm-hmm. And there's all different ages, but a lot of adults. But there, you do see, like, kids every once in a while and teenagers and stuff. And then this is when they decide we're going to split up.
Yeah, they're like, this is going to take forever to look for Hermes. We should probably split up. And then Percy's like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what he looks like, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be that much help by myself.
And so Annabeth decides to go with Percy and leaves Grover. Now, in the book, that would have never happened. They would have had Annabeth go by herself and Grover go with Percy, just because
they're like
Percy's
the
better
friends.
Fighter. I know, but you wouldn't send Grover off. In the book, you wouldn't send book Grover off on his own.
That too.
TV show Grover, fine, but book Grover you wouldn't have.
No, that's so true. They definitely wouldn't have. But also, I feel like Percy, at this point, would have wanted to be with Grover over Annabeth. In this point of the book.
Yeah, he would have been like, hey, G-Man.
Yeah.
Because that's what he called him.
Yeah, he does call him that. I forgot about that.
You can come with me then.
Yeah.
You'll show me who Hermes is. But she does tell her, Grover's like, what do I do if I find him? And she's like, you don't do anything. You come back and tell me.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really dumb. Because she could go back. I know, he was like, why? Like, he just talked to a god and did a great job. He's like, why?
But then he just agrees. And he's like, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah. But he kind of, like, he has this look like, I don't know, like, as if he thinks that, like, she doesn't trust him or doesn't believe in him. Like, he seems a little offended.
Yeah, he does. And she doesn't explain it. She explains it to Percy later, but she doesn't explain it to him, which I think she was just in a hurry and just like, we just got to get going and stuff. But
she's worried about this. Like, there's definitely this,
she's worried about this
thing with Hermes that she's worried over.
Yeah, she has extra emotion attached to this because of Luke.
Yeah.
But I did want to say that, the idea of Grover, like, spotting Hermes and then having to go all the way to the lobby to tell her and then being like, I don't remember which way it was.
Also,
or going back and he's like,
in
gone.
The same place. Yeah. Like, he's a god.
I thought that was kind of like,
I agree.
No. Maybe
it was silly.
Maybe do one of those really loud whistles, really loud, and I'll hear you and come over. I don't know. It was funny. But I think we're going to end here.
Yeah.
And we'll just pick up from the scene where they've split, where it starts going back between Percy and Grover.
Well, then we'll start next episode without spoiler, because we didn't even get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have many questions about something that Annabeth says.
Okay.
Right here, so we'll get to it next time.
Yeah, because there is a whole conversation happening at this point, which is interesting. So
yes.
Okay, good. So that's where we are. I had a couple questions because this time I came prepared. This may have been my...
I thought of a really good one while we were doing
Let's do extra questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so my first question is this. It was, if you were to have some kind of power, would you... These are the three powers that the trio have. Which one would you pick? Water powers, invisibility, or the ability to talk to animals?
I've always wanted to be able to be invisible. Like, that was, like, one of my powers I always wanted. However, being able to talk to animals, I think would come, like... It could come more in handy if... Depending on the power. Like, the premise of the power. Because sometimes him talking to animals doesn't really help them. He'll just, like, this guy wants to eat us, you know? And, like... So it depends on how that power... If it works just like Grover's, then I think I would still go with invisibility.
Well, Grover...
But if you could also persuade them into doing things for you...
Grover has a way with the animals where Percy can just hear the thoughts of a horse or the sea animals, but he doesn't particularly calm them or whatever. Like, Grover almost seems to have...
Well, that's not really true. I think that they both kind of have a sway over the animals that they know just from having, like, power over that. Like horses, for example... are like, they will often try to, like, do what he asks, or, I mean, they kind of appreciate him.
Yeah, and definitely the sea animals for Percy. Now, I was talking more Grover's ability, but for Percy, like, they actually, like, listen to him and respect him. And
right. So if it was like that, like, if I could get, like, a squirrel or, like, even a bird to, like, do stuff for me, would be so cool.
You're going to turn into a criminal.
Have, like, messenger birds. They could spy on people. Like, better than being invisible, just send a squirrel in. If you want to know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but can the squirrel understand what's going on?
Well, see, these are the questions I have about this power.
I see.
Otherwise,
now you have to choose one, I'm sorry.
Invisibility would be really great. I feel like you could use it, like, in your day-to-day more than, like, water powers. Like, what are you gonna... Like, if you're not being a superhero, what are you going to realistically do with water powers, like,
I'm
day to day that's helpful?
Water all of my plants without having to get up.
Okay, like, that's it. But, like, being invisible, you know, like, you could go, like, you could just go places that you've always wanted to go and not worry about...
Not pay a ticket?
Paying a ticket. I know it sounds awful, but come on, it's not like they're gonna, like, lose a lot of money. You're one person. Like, it's gonna be fine. You know, like, you could, you know, get revenge on people who suck. I mean, who actually suck and deserve it. Not being a mean person.
Seeing the side of Brianna that you didn't know was there. Okay, well, I'm choosing...
Just go on a walk in the middle of the night and not worry about being kidnapped. You know, like, it's helpful in your day-to-day
I mean,
life.
you could also not even worry about putting on clothes in that case.
Sure, that too.
Walk naked outside. No one will know.
If that's what you want to do, fine.
Well, I think I'm going to go with the ability to talk to animals. I just need to talk to my cats. I need to know why Romeo is mad all the time, or if he's really mad, or if he just has, like, that resting, you know, grumpy face. And I need to know if Kai is as dumb as he acts. And I want to hear Cleo all of her hunting stories. And I also would like to tell her to stop chewing her skin and making herself bald. You know, these are things. These are things I have to think about.
I just feel like it would be helpful. They would just be like, whatever.
No, my power would be helpful. Well, I mean, they might just be like, whatever. They're cats.
Exactly.
They might just be like, human.
It might not be much different than now when you talk to them.
That's true. I feel like I can get a little bit more information. Like, why are you still meowing at me when I fed you already? And I could communicate to them that, like, you are not being fed more.
True.
Yeah. See? A little bit.
I mean, when I say that to my cats, they understand me. I can tell because they, like, kind of look at me and then they kind of just walk away. I'm like, well, okay.
That's good. Okay, that was my question. What's your question?
My question was, if you went to a place like the Lotus Casino, like, what specifically about it would make you feel like get drawn in? You know what I mean? Like, what would be your version
as opposed to, like,
of paradise?
AC and the games in the front?
Yeah, like, because if you walked into a place like full of video games, you'd be like, I don't really care about this. But, like, what could you walk into that you'd be like, I can see myself getting stuck here forever?
It would be a mountain. It would be a cabin on the top of a mountain. There'd be, like, a nice stream, lots of trees, and a great view. And I'm not sure why that'd be inside of a hotel, but I don't care. I don't care. That's what you asked. What would cause me? And I would just, and it'd be like a nice hotel. It'd be like chilly outside, and there'd be like a nice fireplace inside, and maybe a hot tub outside. I'm kind of starting to name now the cabin that we went to for that one Thanksgiving. It's like, sorry,
apparently that
was a little, but with less other houses around, and maybe like the road doesn't have to be quite so steep.
Yeah. A nice paved road so that you don't get stuck in the mud and stuff and the snow.
Either that or I'd have some really good 4-wheel driving and trucks. And
well, this is assuming you're stuck there forever. So this cabin has everything you could ever want and need. So you wouldn't even need to go anywhere.
Exactly.
So it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. This does seem pretty tempting, like this stuff. Not particularly the games, but like the water slide, like all the activities seem like super fun. So I would say more activities, less video games, and that would pretty much, like, that would by itself probably be something.
So you would basically get pulled into the Lotus Casino and stay there forever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like anything else. But
if you had no one else in life that really mattered to you, that might be a fun thing to do. Like just go in, come out like 2 days later, and it's 10 years later, and you're like, oh, nice, look at all that happened, and then go back in, like, just chronicle the.
I would be terrified, actually. Like, I'm sorry. I'd be so scared of what would happen in, like, 100 years, 200 years. Like, I'd be scared one day I'd walk out and be like, oh, well, the world ended. And, anyways. And that would just, I don't know. What happens then? So that always, like, concerned me with this, like, story, too. Because they're basically thinking that if they don't get this deadline done, like, this giant war will happen. And then, like, they don't know this, but then, like, Cronus would take over. Like, the world would pretty much end. What would happen to the casino at that point? Like, you know that people can get brought.
I think the war would.
Casino.
Yeah.
Would Cronus like send troops in?
Oh yeah, the war would hit them at the same time as everybody else.
Yeah, so it's not. They couldn't really stay there forever. Like, no, because Percy says, like, even when he does remember things, he's like, he does see how it could be tempting to like let all of that go and just decide to stay there and not be responsible and just be able to be a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would last that long. They'd come for you. Like, the world's gonna end, basically, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like... Anyways, I feel like Cronus would still be able to find you. He'd find you in your dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think... Being in the Lotus Casino is not like you're suddenly protected from the whole world. So, it would... If the war happened, it would not have been... I could stay there forever.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that was definitely... It just seemed like a silly thing for him to think at the time.
And that was from the book that you said he thought that? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Remember. I mean, we'll see when we get there how that went.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to end here.
Yes, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Threads at Camp Comparisons Podcast. I've actually been on Threads because I made this account, and I have to say, it is much better than Twitter.
Oh, nice.
It's nice on there.
Oh, good. I should check it out.
There's cool stuff, and like all of mine is all like about books and writing and stuff. I guess because of like who I started following at the very beginning of it, which is Rick. But I love it. It's great.
That's good.
So yeah, go find us on Threads.
Yeah, and go ahead and I might put up a post, and maybe Brianna and I will both put a post because we handle different parts of our social media, but to ask what power you'd like the most, and you guys should let us know out of those 3 powers.
Yeah, definitely. And if you have any longer thoughts, like about your perfect Lotus Casino and what that would be in detail, email us.
Send photos.
Yeah. Send inspo pics. Email us at campcomparisons@gmail.com.
Or if you just have a really nice cabin that you think I might like, to rent. No, just joking.
Good Airbnb.
Good nice Airbnb that you think fit perfectly to what I just said. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. This is a word of mouth thing, and that's a great way to get podcasts known, is telling people more than anything. So tell your friends.
Yes. Okay, well, until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye.